On News Hour tonight, Chief of Defense Staff meets Benue traditional rulers, backs training of vigilantes and youths to tackle killings. Family seeks justice after alleged killing of 14-year-old Kabiru Aliyu by police in Kaduna. ECOWAS maintains ties with Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger as New Deal talks begin. And on the foreign scene, outrage in Kenya as police kills vendor during protest. Hello, good evening and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Now we'll begin with security matters. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, is calling for community self-protection to end the killings in Benue State. The CDS stated this on Tuesday at a meeting with traditional rulers and other stakeholders in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. Our correspondent in Benue State has more.
Following sustained attacks on Benue communities with the latest at Yelwater settlement in Goma local government, stakeholders are advocating innovative ways to end insecurity. Engaging critical and key stakeholders in Benue State, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, is proposing a youth summit in the state that would lead to profiling and training of youths to defend their communities. He, however, emphasized that such persons must be under the control of the Nigerian Armed Forces to prevent any possibility of becoming a problem to the society they sought to protect.
When I was a theater commander in the Northeast, communities like this, we have civilians here. The communities were the ones that were able to identify youths that were capable and we know of their character. The DSS and the police profile them, make sure that they don't have any criminal record, and we give us a level of training to protect communities. Those are the things that we're looking at, but they must be under the control of the armed forces so that the tendency is to give somebody who won and don't control him. Before you see if he starts settling personal scores, we don't want that to get him out of hand. So we're looking at all these measures that we can put in place so that we can make sure that we secure our communities. If there's any attack, those are the first responders. They can give alerts. They know the location very well. They can give us more information. And I think that's what we should look at what's going on.
The military chief, who identified land issues, movement of animals and rustling to be responsible for killings in the state, noted with particular reference to the Yelwater attack, equally affected the military. General Musa again stressed the need for the people of Benue State, North Central Nigeria at large, to come together and address the senseless killings across the country.
And I want to just appeal that please, as individuals, we must learn to unite together. But for me, charity begins at home. We must work as a united front, both within the communities, the members of the armed forces, and every other person that lives in Benue State, or even transits across Benue State. But that is very, very critical for all of us.
In another development, the Benue State House of Assembly has lifted the suspension of 6 out of the 13 lawmakers for dishonorable conduct. This came after the 6 members submitted an appeal and apology to the House. Majority Leader Sate Tise, during plenary on Tuesday, moved a motion on the floor of the House calling for the lifting of the suspension, which elapsed on May 19, 2025. The House, through a voice vote, ruled that the remaining 7 members stay suspended unless they submit a formal appeal to the House. Those freed are Simon Gabo, Elias Audu, Solomon Kila, William Otium, Blessed Honor, and Anyo Mato.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, on Monday said no fewer than 6,527 people have so far been displaced by the attack in Benue State. It also said over 3,000 displaced residents, including women and children, were in urgent need of food, non-food items, potable water, and essential medical supplies. NEMA, in a statement on its ex-official handle, said those displaced include 82 pregnant women, 252 lactating mothers, and 657 children under 18. The agency said the casualty figures from the attack in the Yelwata community in Goma local government area were inconsistent due to the volatile security situation and limited access to affected areas. It, however, said the ongoing rescue and recovery operations were expected to provide more accurate figures. It further added that it was collaborating with other local and international agencies to coordinate relief activities for those affected at a newly established internally displaced persons IDP camp at the Makurdi International Market. And now the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the Labour Party, LP, have condemned the brutal attack on Yelwata community in Benue State on Friday, which claimed several lives and left hundreds displaced. The opposition parties, in separate statements released on Monday, want President Tinubu to take a decisive action that will see the perpetrators of the dastardly act apprehended and prosecuted. The parties commiserated with the families of victims in Benue State and other parts of the country and urged them not to relent in their efforts to ensure the security of lives and properties in Nigeria. In a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Debo Olugunagba, the PDP accused Tinubu and the All Progressive Congress APC of being largely unconcerned. In her statement, the acting national chairman of the Labour Party, Nenadi Usman, said the level of bloodshed in Benue should shake every conscience in Nigeria. She demanded an immediate and comprehensive deployment of security forces to every vulnerable community in Benue and across the Middle Belt. Suspected bandits on Monday night stormed Tadurga village in Zuru local government area of Kebbi State, killing an unconfirmed number of people, abducting several others and rustling livestock. According to a resident, Aldusule, the attackers arrived in large numbers, firing indiscriminately and causing widespread panic. Another resident, Abdullahi Zuru, noted that the government's sustained efforts had previously driven armed bandits away, allowing farmers to return to their fields and record a bumper harvest. At the time of filing this report, no official statement had been released from the police. Meanwhile, the Amir of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Nigeria, Alatoye Aziz, has called on Nigerians to support the efforts of the armed forces in the fight against insurgency, saying it was ungodly for citizens to conspire with criminals against frontline Nigerian soldiers. The Sokoto State government has reiterated its commitment to lasting peace and security, expressing readiness to explore non-violent solutions to lingering insecurity challenges in the region. The special advisor to the governor on security matters, Ahmed Usman, who disclosed the government's openness to dialogue with repentant bandits, added that such dialogue is on condition that they must be genuinely willing to lay down arms and embrace peaceful coexistence. His remarks reflect the administration's two-pronged approach to security in supporting military efforts while also embracing peace-building initiatives aimed at addressing the root causes of banditry and violence. And now the families of a 14-year-old Kabir Aliyu in Rigasa, Kaduna State, is demanding justice and compensation following the tragic killing of their son, allegedly by officers of the Nigerian police. The parents claimed that Kabir was shot dead in front of his brother's house by officers of the Rigasa Divisional Police Office. At the time of Trust TV's visit, the family remained visibly devastated by the incident, which they described as senseless and avoidable. The report.
According to eyewitnesses and residents, the incident occurred during a police raid targeting youth allegedly involved in criminal activities. The raid coincided with a wedding celebration of one of the alleged thugs in the community, and Kabiru, who was said to be an innocent bystander, was caught in the chaos. It happened during the wedding ceremony of one of the popular youths in the area. The police came on Friday chasing after some young boys they claim were smoking. After they had dispersed the crowd and returned, some of the youths began throwing stones. That was when the DPO told us to leave where we were seated, warning that they were about to start shooting. As soon as we stepped away, we heard a gunshot. Jamilu Aliyu, Kabiru's elder brother, said the tragic shooting happened right before his eyes when the police stormed the area. He was sent by our elder brother, who had just returned from Lagos, to deliver charcoal to me. When I came back home, I met Kabiru at the gate. He told me about the charcoal, and I asked him to quickly return home because of the tense situation in the area. As I was about to open my gate, I heard a gunshot behind me. When I turned around, I saw Kabiru lying on the ground, bleeding from his head. I also saw the police officers leaving the scene with their guns. Abubakar Aliyu also expressed deep sorrow over the loss, saying the entire family is still in shock and unable to comprehend the tragic turn of events. Kabiru was my younger brother from the same parent, the last born in our family. He was shot by the police. I went to report the matter to the divisional police officer, but the DPO claimed he wasn't aware, even though he was part of the team that came to the area during the incident. Kabiru's mother, Rabi'atu Abdurrahman, while emotionally recalling her last moment with her son, is demanding justice and compensation, insisting that those responsible must be held accountable for the killing of her child.
My last moment with him was when he came to tell me that he was going to his brother's house. The next thing I heard was he was shot dead by the police. Now, all I want is justice for my son.
Meanwhile, the public relations officer of the Kaduna State Police Command, DSP Mansur Hassan, has acknowledged the incident. During the chaotic situation, we used tear gas to disperse a group of boys, but unfortunately, one boy outside was hit by the tear gas and was later pronounced dead in the hospital. We also urge people to leave the scene whenever we are in the community conducting operations against criminal elements in society. Kabiru Aliyu has since been buried at the Rigasa Cemetery in Igabi local government area, leaving his family in grief and the community demanding answers. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
Now, operatives of the Niger State Police Command have arrested 2 kidnapped suspects, Japta James and Usman Ibrahim. The suspects, who reside in Ija, Gwari, Tafa and Sabongari of Buari area of FCT, respectively broke into the victim's home with weapons. They were said to have entered the premises of their victims in Kata via New Buari and attempted to kidnap his sister. When operatives of the Tafa Police Division, following a tip-off, immediately rushed to the scene, leading to the suspect's arrest. The suspects were arrested with a locally made pistol, 2 knives, a walkie-talkie, 2 cartridges, 4 handsets, 1 ATM card, 2 electric tasers, a pepper spray, and some charms. During interrogation, the suspect confessed to the crime, saying that they arranged to abduct the lady in order to request for ransom. They claimed that the items recovered were bought from one of their members under the disguise of a civilian JTF. The spokesman for the Niger State Police Command, Wasiu Abiodun, confirmed the arrest in a statement, saying the two suspects were under investigation and will be prosecuted later. And still on security matters, police operatives in Rivers State have arrested two more suspects linked to the killings of Ahuada Divisional Police Officer DPO, late SP Bako Agbashim, in 2023. The two suspects, identified as one Love God Goodluck and Precious Olumini, said to be members of the notorious late Tubaba Iceland cult group, were arrested on May 13th, June 2025 at their hideouts. The late Divisional Police Officer SP Bako Agbashim and his team were ambushed by an Iceland cult gang led by Gift Okpara, aka Tubaba, on September 8, 2023, and gruesomely murdered. Some suspects were also arrested immediately after the incident. Police spokesperson in Rivers State, SP Grace Ringe Koko, in a statement on Tuesday, said the operatives acted on intelligence and arrested the two suspects, including one Precious Olumini, who had earlier escaped the arrest. Niger State Governor Muhammad Bago has revealed that most of the victims affected by the May 29th flood disaster in Mokwa local government area were non-indigents. He disclosed this on Tuesday while receiving humanitarian support from Veritas University, Abuja, a Catholic Church-owned institution. Represented by his deputy Yakubu Garba, the governor stated that the state government had begun proper documentation of the victims, including collecting bank account details for the disbursement of funds donated by various governments and organizations. He noted that although the Accountant General of the state was yet to disclose the total amount donated, each affected family was expected to receive not less than 1 million. He acknowledged Veritas University as first faith-based organization to donate the victims and appreciated the gesture. Presenting the humanitarian support, the Vice Chancellor of Veritas University, Hyacinth Ichoku, represented by the Dean of the Faculty of Education, Peter Bakwab, said some students of the institution lost family members in the disaster. He stated that the university had donated 150 mattresses, mosquito repellents, and other relief materials to support the victims' families during their time of grief. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has issued a warning to residents of Igbeti, advising them to avoid the rocky terrain due to recent earth tremor in the area. The governor emphasized the potential dangers of eruptions and urged caution to prevent injury and property damage. The report.
Igbeti, a town nestled in the rocky highlands of Oyo State and home to the famous Iyamopo Hills, was rocked by a sudden seismic vibration on June 7th. The tremor sent panic across the community, with residents left startled by the unfamiliar phenomenon. In response, officials from the Oyo State Solid Mineral Development Agency visited the community for an on-the-spot assessment of the situation. The agency's leadership called for increased vigilance and public awareness.
I implore the people of the community and the farmers farming close to the mountain, to the rock, please stay away for now as much as possible. We need to stay away from the rock because it's most likely still an active system and we don't want anybody caught in the midst of the rock slide.
The vice chairman of Olorun-Shogun local government area also issued a strong warning to those involved in illegal mining, noting the link between such activities and environmental hazards.
We advise them
to stay away as much as possible, because we don't know what will happen next. It can happen at any time. So we will continue to advise them to stay away as much as possible from the scene of the incident.
Has this never happened before?
It happened last year, but it's not as much as this.
The traditional ruler of Igbeti, Oba Bashir Ajiboye, urged calm, assuring residents that the tremor is likely a natural occurrence, but stressed the need for safety measures.
It's not any that maybe one ancestral is not happy. The rock is do this, do that. I try to explain to them. They don't need to fear. They don't need to panic. We have done whatever we need to do. We have reached out to the experts, to the professional, and then they have given all the reports.
Authorities say they are adopting proactive strategies, including early warning systems and environmental safety policies to mitigate future risk from such vibrations. As seismic activity continues to pose a concern, the state government reiterates its commitment to safeguarding lives while addressing the root causes, including illegal mining. Trust TV News, Oyo State.
The president of the ECOWAS Commission, Omar Aliou Traoré, says the regional bloc will maintain the current status quo with the Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, despite their announcement to withdraw from ECOWAS in January 2024. Traoré revealed this after a meeting with the foreign affairs ministers of the three countries on the sideline the launch of 4 initiatives aimed at enhancing trade across the West African region in partnership with international stakeholders. Noel Sampson has more.
Traoré emphasized the importance of the newly launched initiatives and our collaborative framework with ECOWAS partners. The initiatives focus on enhancing trade, combating terrorism, addressing climate change, and promoting sustainable development. He urged the Commission to prioritize results and measurable progress. Dr. Traoré also addressed the status of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger Republic, reaffirming that ECOWAS will maintain its current position pending a new agreement.
As we implement these projects, let us focus on delivery to the people. Let us focus on concrete results on the ground. Let us reduce workshops. Let us reduce trainings. Let us reduce validation activities, validation workshops. We have agreed until we come to a new, we adopt a new agreement, we will maintain the status quo in all areas. Status quo in the area of trade, status quo in the area of free movement, and we will also continue to explore avenues of collaboration in the area of peace and security.
Some of the partners spoke on how they intend to implement the initiatives.
It's a project that we have launched today with an amount of about 110 million euro. About 50% of that was funded by Germany, and as His Excellency Ali Touré said, it is important to make a difference for the people on the ground. And I think this is our ambition, and this is what we have been doing over the last 20 years with our programs.
So they will be implemented, as always, when it comes to EU-funded projects, through implementing partners who have the capacities to do this. They've been partnering in the design of the projects, and they will do so in the implementation of these 110 million euros worth projects over the next few years to reach the objectives of having a more integrated region in trade and more capacities for security and peace.
These projects are designed to strengthen trade, competitiveness, improve market access, foster regional integration, promote peace and security, and enhance institutional capacity in West Africa.
Despite recorded progress, the West African region continues to grapple with political instability, terrorism, and economic inequality worsened by tensions with military-led governments. However, stakeholders believe the newly launched initiatives hold promise for lasting solutions. Well, Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Kano's amputee football team shines nationally amid setbacks. Stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. In case you just missed it, here's a recap of our top stories again. We told you that Chief of Defense Staff meets Benue traditional rulers, backs training of vigilantes and youths to tackle killings. Plus, family seeks justice after alleged killing of 14-year-old Kabir Aliyu by police in Kaduna. Now we move on to more stories. Detectives from the Lagos State Police Command are currently interrogating the senior pastor of House on the Rock Church, Lagos, Paul Adeolu Adefarasin, over a video that showed him allegedly holding a gun-like object against another road user while driving in an unregistered vehicle. The pastor and televangelist, who is the prelate and metropolitan senior pastor of House on the Rock, was invited by the police following the video that went viral on social media. He was said to have turned himself in at the State Command headquarters in Ikeja on Tuesday afternoon, along with his lawyer. Lagos State Police Public Relations Officer CSP Benjamin Hundain, in a WhatsApp post, stated that Pastor Paul Adefarasin turned himself in at the State Police Command headquarters, Ikeja. Hundain disclosed that the pastor was being interrogated by detectives who have commenced investigation on the case since a video surfaced online showing the pastor holding a gun-like object against another road user. However, Adefarasin had responded during a recent Sunday service to the viral firearm video, saying that he was hurt by the video while he described as misleading as and hurtful. In recent years, Kano State Amputees football team has made a significant mark on the national scene, offering hope and a platform for local talents to shine. Some players scouted from the team have advanced to the national squad, while others now play professionally for clubs in Europe. Trust TV's Abdulaziz Ibrahim, who visited the team, where players shared their successes, challenges and dreams for the future. The report.
At the Kano Pillar Stadium in Sabongeri area of Kano State, 25 young men prove that through sports, there is indeed ability in disability. Kano State has recorded remarkable progress in amputee football, particularly at the last two National Para Games, providing a lifeline to homegrown talents, some of whom have risen to international recognition. Rabilu Yahaya was scouted along with 4 others to join the national team in 2023. He now reflects on the journey so far.
The Isa da Abba suna Gabzi. Suna Turkiya wani club de Gabzi.
Isa and Abba are now playing professionally for a club in Turkey called Gabzi, and Friday plays for Sakarya. I am very happy for their securing those deals because they are all my friends. And for us, we hope this year we will also secure contracts. Many of these athletes were not born amputees, but their passion for football has given them renewed purpose.
Yeah, I was actually playing able football before the incident happened to me. That was about 2007, 2008. And I did not allow the situation to weigh me down. So I just had to connect myself with amputee football.
Anan New Road ne wannan titin. Lokacin good luck an sa bomb a cikin wancan tashar ina gurin ya ritsa da.
It happened to me at New Road during the time Goodluck Jonathan was president. A bomb exploded at the motor park and I was there when it happened. That incident led to amputation of my leg. But after I recovered, I didn't give up on football. Many people were surprised at how I continued playing with one leg. It's because ever since I was a child, I have always loved football. Initially, I wanted to go to Niger State to join a club, but one of my bosses advised me to wait because a new club was going to be formed here in Kano. Amputee football is played by 6 outfield players, each using one leg and supported by crutches, with a goalkeeper who uses one arm. The pitch and goals are smaller than in standard football, and touching the ball with a crutch results in a penalty. While social media has become a valuable tool for scouting talent, the team's head coach says their biggest challenge remains access to specialized equipment.
Kalubalen da muke fuskanta shine na rashin kayan aiki, especially crutches na.
The main challenge we face is the lack of equipment, especially the specialized crutches needed for this sport, as well as football boots and balls. Another major challenge is supporting players who may not be able to attend training due to the high cost of transportation. As these young men continue to defy the odds, their inspiring journey is a testament to how sport can transform lives and serve as a beacon of hope for persons with disabilities.
I will actually say they should not allow their physical challenge to wear them down. There is ability in whatsoever situation that they see themselves. They should see beyond themselves, and they should just cheer up themselves and find something doing.
Nigeria's national amputee football team, who finished 4th at the last Amputee Nations Cup in Egypt, is preparing to represent the country at the 2026 Amputee World Cup in Costa Rica. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News.
The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, says it is taking a hard stance on examination malpractices across the country. To this end, the board has rolled out strict sanctions against individuals and computer-based test centers found culpable of fraudulent activities during registration and exam sessions. The report.
Speaking at a stakeholders meeting on examination infractions in Abuja, JAMB Registrar Ishak Oloyede announced that any registrant linked to the enrollment of more than 50 candidates using suspicious means will be barred from participating in any JAMB-related activity for 3 years. That ban also extends to major examination bodies including WAEC, NECO, and NAPTEP for the same duration. According to him, after the 3-year period, each case will be reviewed on an individual basis. Professor Oloyede warned that any federal institution found guilty of malpractice will be reported to its supervising body for disciplinary action.
Those who are owned by government, public institutions, they will be told officially that this is what they have done. Number 2, they will give a bond, and that apology and bond. That is, if they do such a thing again, that center will be delisted. That is, we will not entertain from them any longer. Then thirdly, we also identified that lack of training is the problem, is part of the problem.
Also present at the meeting was the retired Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Fatai Owosheni, who stressed the need for consistency in tackling malpractice and ending bias in the enforcement of Nigeria's laws. He called for the firm application of legal measures against crimes like impersonation and exam fraud.
Apart from the examination malpractices, what you've done under the criminal code is forgery, impersonation. You are supposed to go to prison. Actually, when the registrar started, I said, why do we even have to call you? Because the registrar is aware. There is a case that has made people to go to Taraba today.
In Jigawa State, Deputy Provost of Jikora CBT Center in Bobura, Bashir Gumel, confirmed the creation of a local committee to investigate the misconduct. He said the committee had already interviewed those involved and secured confessions. Gumel warned against shutting down the center entirely, noting its importance as a job hub for young people in the community.
There we have summoned all of them to come for fair hearing. We have heard all what they have done, and they've confessed that to return the integrity of our institution, this will not go like that. They have to be punished, and we promise that the mode of action that we've taken will be shared with the JAMB office.
So far, JAMB has identified 11 CBT centers linked to various infractions, 9 of them including centers in Bauchi, FCT, Lagos, Oyo, Jigawa, and Rivers, have responded to JAMB's summons. Meanwhile, 3 centers, the Jaw National Academy in Bayelsa, the Directorate of ICT at Nigerian Army University in Borno, and the Consulate CBT Center in Plateau, have yet to reply. JAMB insists that it remains committed to restoring integrity across Nigeria's examination system.
Now, the Senate will on Wednesday screen the chairman, managing director, and other members of the board of Southwest Development Commission, SWDC. Speaking at its inaugural meeting on Tuesday, chairman of the Senate Committee on SWDC, Yunusa Akintunde, said they will continually provide adequate oversight to enable the commission deliver on its mandate. Akintunde told other members of the committee to brace up for the work ahead, adding that all opinions will count in the developmental initiative of the SWDC. Recalled that President Bola Tinubu had in May appointed Senator Olubunmi Adetumbi as chairman and Charles Akinola as managing director of the newly created SWDC.
Our vision is to provide adequate oversight functions for the good governance of the Commission to harness the vast potentials of the Southwest region, promoting economic growth, social justice, and human capacity development. We will work to address the infrastructure deficit, enhance regional cohesion, and foster business-friendly environment through robust legislative activities. Let us remember that great things are not achieved in isolation. They are born out of unity, determination, and shared vision. I believe we have the right people, the right purpose, and the right momentum.
As part of activities marking the second year of the present administration, President Bola Tinubu has commissioned the new national headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja. At the commissioning ceremony, the president described the construction of the edifice as a reflection of Nigeria's democratic strength and institutional dignity. Habibat Ajayi has more.
President Tinubu says the project goes beyond brick and mortar as it symbolizes the future of Nigerians' electoral integrity and democratic resilience.
INEC has been and remains the backbone of Nigeria's democratic journey. Its role in conducting free, fair, and credible election is central to the trust our people place in their government and in our democratic process. For this reason, it is only right that such a pivotal institution is housed in a structure that reflects the dignity, responsibility, and national significance of that institution.
In a related development, the president, represented by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajudeen Abbas, also commissioned the newly completed Mabushi Bus Terminal, a key infrastructure project aimed at improving public transportation in the Federal Capital Territory.
We are affirming our promise to provide a city where citizens can live, work, and commit with dignity, safety, and efficiency. This is a clear demonstration that our renewed hope agenda is not merely a slogan, but a lived experience for our people.
Minister of Transportation Sa'idu Alkali appealed to transport union leaders to ensure proper use and maintenance of the terminal.
It is also appreciable to note that the choice of the places where such terminals are to be constructed are influenced by strategic location, commercial viability, and the need to boost economic growth and inclusive development through vision of a modern transport facility in the respective zones.
FCT Minister Nyesom Wike explained that the terminal will operate 24 hours daily and will be managed by private sector operators to ensure efficiency and sustainability.
This is first of all, in terms of security, we're trying to reduce the level of motor parks on the road. We're trying to eliminate this so-called one chance. Here, those who are drivers, so that you know the vehicle you are boarding to go to the other place. Assuming you want to go to Buhari, you can come here or you can go to Kubo. We know the bus that you have boarded. And even when you come from Buhari down to this place, the taxis here will also pick you to where you are going to.
Wike also expressed appreciation to President Tinubu for his support that ensured the completion of the projects. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The 23 Armor Brigade in Yola has hosted the 2025 3 Division Inter-Brigade Warrant Officers at Senior Non-Commissioned Officers SNCO competition aimed at evaluating the leadership, organizational skill, initiative and physical fitness of participating officers. Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Umar Fintri, represented by his deputy, reaffirmed the state government's unwavering support for security forces in their mission to safeguard Nigerian sovereignty. Gibson Swadigo reports from Yola.
Inter-Brigade Warrant Officers and Senior NCOs competition.
Judges at the competition took an oath to uphold fairness and impartiality throughout the exercise. The 3 division comprises the 23 Armor Brigade Yola, 33 Artillery Brigade Bauchi, 6 Brigade Jalingo, 3 Division Garrison Jos, and 43 Engineering Brigade Jos. The opening ceremony featured performances that reflected military discipline and ethics, drawing attention from invited guests and members of the barracks community. In his remarks, Brigadier General Amechi Abonaya Abo, the commander of the 23 Armor Brigade, described senior non-commissioned officers as a backbone of military formations as they act as the guardians of discipline and professionalism and standard.
The Nigerian Army has upheld its training troops, as witnessed here today. Though the competition is not merely about showcasing individual abilities, it is a critical demonstration of our collective commitment to the operational readiness and combat effectiveness.
Governor Fintri, through his deputy Kaleta Pofarauta, acknowledged the critical role the military, particularly the 3 division, plays in securing lives and property in Adamawa State and across Nigeria. He pledged continuous support to ensure military personnel have the tools and resources needed to perform their duties effectively.
Let me begin by acknowledging the profound and indispensable role that the Nigerian military, and specifically this division, plays in ensuring the security and stability of our beloved state. In the face of various threats, both internal and external, your constant vigilance, courage, and readiness are the bedrock upon which our collective safety rests.
The competition featured a variety of events, including drills, combat swimming, map reading, marksmanship, and obstacle navigation, each designed to test the mettle and competence of the officers. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
And now in business, oil marketers have increased the prices of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, at filling stations amid ongoing competition with Dangote Petroleum Refinery. Data on Tuesday revealed that 7 oil depots increased prices by a range of 1.45% to 2.90% between June 11th and June 13th. The changes at major Lagos depots between June 11th and June 13th, 2025 illustrate the upward trend in petrol prices. On the other hand, Dangote Refinery has demonstrated resilience by keeping its ex-depot price steady at 835 per litre. The development follows Dangote Refinery's plan to commence distributions of fuel, including compressed natural gas (CNG), from August 15th. President of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Petron, Billy Gillis Harry, called on the federal government and industry regulators, including the Nigerian mainstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authorities, to stop expansion moves by the Dangote Refinery, adding that if not stopped, the move will take them out of business. The pension fund investment in federal government security rose by 18.7% year-on-year in the first quarter of 2025 to 14.48 trillion from 12.20 trillion in the corresponding period of 2024. This was disclosed in the latest pension fund industry portfolio report from the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, detailing activities in the sector for the first quarter of the year ended March 31st, 2025. Market operators attributed the rise in the investment in FGN security to the high monetary policy rate regime established by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, over the last 6 months, as well as the relatively low risk factor of the securities, notably due to the rising inflation trend. The CBN had continuously retained MPR at 27.5 since December 2024, which is the benchmark interest rate for government and other corporate securities in the country. Reports revealed that the federal government securities accounted for 62% of the total pension fund assets worth 23.32 trillion. The investment in FGN security includes FGN bonds, treasury bills, agency bonds, SUK bond, and green bonds. Now away from Nigeria, Kenya police shot an apparent bystander at close range on Tuesday during the latest protest over the killing of a blogger in custody earlier this month, sparking more fury among the public and demands for accountability. An Associate Press journalist saw the officer, who had concealed his face with a mask, shot at the unarmed man at close range with what appeared to be a shotgun. The man, who had been holding a packet of face masks, was believed to be a vendor caught up in a confrontation with two officers while standing on Nairobi sidewalk. One officer shot him in the head as he walked away. The man was being treated at Kenya's largest referral government hospital, along with 10 others injured in the demonstration. The hospital spokesperson said the injuries included gunshot wounds. Police in a statement expressed concern and said the officer had been arrested. Hundreds of protesters on Tuesday clashed with police in the capital while demanding the arrest of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Eliud Langat, who had filed a defamation complaint against the blogger Albert Ojwang. Ojwang was arrested on June 6th and died in custody. Sudan's Prime Minister Camille El Tayyib Idris has directed the reopening of universities in Khartoum. In a memo to the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research, the PM directed that a proper assessment of the damage and repairs be done following the attacks on the university buildings and research centers. The war in Sudan, which began in April 2023, has severely affected the country's education sector, with many institutions in Khartoum state destroyed or rendered unusable. He also directed the National Center for Curricular and Educational Research to include lessons fostering peace, national unity, and rejecting hate speech in their journey to national recovery and reconciliation. Authorities did not give any specific date for the reopening. Now, explosions have rocked Tehran and missiles struck Tel Aviv as Israel and Iran continue to exchange deadly attacks for the fifth consecutive day, deepening fears of wide-range conflicts. The Israeli military says it has killed Iran's wartime chief of staff, following Iranian media reports that Tehran is preparing what it described as the largest and most intense missile assault on Israeli territory to date, U.S. President Donald Trump has weighed in, stating he is seeking a real end to the conflict, not just a ceasefire. In a post on social media, he urged residents of Tehran to evacuate, reiterating that Iran must never have a nuclear weapon. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has declared that the killing of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, will not escalate the situation, but rather bring an end to the conflict. A plane carrying hundreds of Hajj pilgrims back from Saudi Arabia was diverted in Indonesia on Tuesday after an email bomb threat was sent to authorities in the Indonesian's aviation body said. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation said they received a report from Indonesia's airport operator regarding a bomb threat sent by an unidentified person via electronic mail. The mail at 7:30 contained a threat to blow up Saudi Airlines flight SV5276, which was flying from the Saudi city of Jeddah to Indonesian capital Jakarta. It said in a statement, after 10 a.m., the pilot diverted the plane from its destination of Jakarta's Soekarno-Hatta International Airport to Kuala Namu International Airport in Medan, a city on Sumatra Island in western Indonesia. The flight was carrying 442 Hajj pilgrims, including 207 men and 235 women, it added. The airport evacuated the pilgrims and a bomb disposal unit swept the plane for explosive device, the aviation body said it in a statement. Now it's time for us to join Kabir Lawan for more news on sports.
Nigeria's winger, Wisdom Fernando, has expressed joy for helping Asante Kotoko leave the Ghana FA Cup. Asante Kotoko defeated Golden Kick FC 2-1 in the final, held at the University of Ghana Stadium in Accra. The Porcupine Warriors secured their 10th FA Cup title with a hard-fought win. Wisdom Fernando was on the pitch for full 90 minutes and later celebrated his team's triumph on social media. This marks the second major trophy of Fernando's career following his MPFL title win with Aqua United in 2021. Still on sports news, Chairman of the National Sports Commission, NSC Shehu Diko, is still optimistic that the Super Eagles can secure their spot at the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico if FIFA docks South Africans' point. While Nigeria's solution in the group is precarious, Diko believes there's still a path forward if South Africa lose point for fielding an ineligible player in the 2-0 win over Lesotho in March. Bafana Tebonomokane has accumulated 2 yellow cards in the series and should have been suspended for the Lesotho match. If the decision goes as everyone expects, and we ourselves faced a similar fate before, it means we can still control our own future. If we win our remaining 4 games, we can make it, Diko added. That's Sport News. I am Kabir Lawan.
And with that, we have come to the end of News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to watch us across all our social media platforms for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Good night.